We will be starting off with the two Lunar's New Year's maps, and we're going to be starting off with the new one, Harmony. There's not really much to say about this map. All the ores are exposed, and there's a decent amount of iron and diamonds, and there's 8 diamonds at mid, so overall a pretty decent mining map. So for Embers, Embers actually has 2 different possible island combinations, and one of them has 3 diamonds and the other one has 2 diamonds. All the other ores are exactly the same, there's just this one difference, and at middle there are 6 diamonds. So next up we have Sanctuary, pretty standard map, all the ores are exposed, and I actually discovered that at middle there are these 4 diamonds at the top of the pillars, which I had no idea about, so that was a pretty cool find. So in total there are 8 diamonds at mid. With Mushy, it's really easy to get every ore, they're all exposed, and at mid there's 5 diamonds, which are also pretty easy to get. Although Mothership is a very big map, it's really easy to find all the ores. All the ores on the islands are all exposed, and at mid there's 8 diamonds that are kind of scattered across middle, but they're all very easy to get. Not really much to say about Jagan, all the ores are exposed and it's a pretty good mining map, so that's about it. Dwarven is actually quite an interesting map. There are 2 possible ore configurations, with one of them having 1 more iron than the other, and at middle there are a ton of ores, and each corner of middle has the same amount of ores as the other ones, and they're all equal pretty much, so I think all the ore placements are exactly the same, but either way they're all exposed. And one more thing I found is that there's actually diamonds on top of each of the pillars on Dwarven, so I thought that was pretty cool. There are actually a few interesting things on Embersell. The first one is how there are no diamonds on any of the islands in Embersell, or the starting islands. And the second one I realized while editing, so obviously there's a lot of redstone on Embersell, and I wanted to go and world edit because I had the map downloaded and see how many redstone blocks there were. So there's 1,799 redstone blocks, which is quite a bit of redstone. There's pretty much absolutely nothing to say about Fossil. The only interesting thing is that there's absolutely nothing at middle. So Jinzo actually does have a lot of ores on the island, but they're all pretty hard to reach, so I made a path to try to get all of them. Most of them are just like coal and stuff, so it's pretty useless, but there is 7 iron and 1 diamond. So it is kind of lacking on the diamonds, but there's a decent amount of iron, and at middle there's 8 diamonds, so it's an alright map. There are a few hidden ores on the islands of Fragment, but they're all pretty easy to get to, and there's some diamonds at mid, so overall not that bad. Atlas is a pretty good mining map. There are a few hidden ores on the island, but they're easy to find, and there's a decent amount of diamonds at mid, so overall a pretty solid map. On Aegis, all the islands have the same amount of ores, just they're placed in different areas on different islands, so I show both of the areas. And at the top of middle, there's a ton of iron blocks and diamonds, so you can make some pretty wild stuff up there. So Atuin is probably the worst mining map in the entire game, as there's literally nothing on islands. I mean, basically nothing. There's a few diamonds and iron, and at middle there's a whole like 3 diamonds, so it's absolutely worthless to play in this map. Nontop is known for its mining potential, but besides that, there's nothing really interesting to talk about the map. Now we move on to Kronos, which was probably the weirdest map I tested this on, because for some inexplicable reason, there are 3 different combinations of ores on the islands, but that's not the worst part. The worst part is there is a single island that has a different number of ores than the rest. The rest of them have 2 different combinations, but there is a single one of them that just randomly has a different amount of ores. And I'll show you what I mean, but it absolutely blew my mind. But I guess this is just some sort of fun fact for you guys, but this really, really weirded me out. Lastly, we have Canopy. Not really much to say about the map. I mean, it's a weird map, but yeah, it's pretty normal.